Yeah, that wouldn't be bad because you're going to be interviewing this week.
Okay, so you want me to go accepting applications from the 20th to the 27th? Or do you want to go to the 24th?
I would put in there
Probably 20.
by the 20th to the 31st if you wanted to, but
Okay.
Go as long as
you
you
reserve the
can.
right to fill a
People
position.
are on vacation and everything else.
I'd go 2 full weeks, but we reserve the right to fill a position at any given time.
Okay.
So we may fill it before then
That's fine. Yeah.
if we start interviewing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. I have a lot, guys. You're gonna love me. Next, this is really simple. I would love to take over the office ordering. If we could just vote and allow me to do that. I cleaned out the supply closet and reorganized it so that we can just open it and see what we have. I know that you just made a pretty big order because we just put it all away, so we're good for a little while. And then I would love, since you guys are not here as often, like we're here every day. If I'm like, oh, we're getting low, I can jot it down, put a PO into you guys and have it ordered.
I would still like to keep it so it's done twice a month.
Okay.
That's how it's been going.
Okay.
Been working pretty good.
Do you have?
Except for me.
Go
not
easy
getting
with the
Right.
voice.
No,
You're not gonna last.
my wife likes it this way.
So do you have a write-up on how it's done? You don't.
There's never been one.
There
For
hasn't.
whatever reason, there was a problem in the office from what I hear before I
Okay.
got here. And Karen Garish at the time had taken it on,
Okay.
and then so it kind of got
So really, the only
Stadium.
stipulations you have for me are that it's done twice a month,
like
and you
it
must
twice a
have.
month. Of course, the PO.
Right, of course. That's a policy anyway.
Yep. And then just a matter of, because we're gonna I'd be spot checking it, just making sure that the budget money's there. I mean,
I can check with Jeanette on that every time.
it's just like anything else, make sure we don't hold the budget on. Or if we do, if there's a situation where, like this past year, we had special elections, things like that.
Right.
Material, supplies line went over, paper and things like that. Then we'll have to get the form to transfer funds from one line to the other, which Jeanette has.
Right. What? So I'll just check with Jeanette. The only stipulations I have are twice a month. Maybe I can even type something up for the future
That'd be
if
great.
it should be handed to somebody else.
That'd be good.
Another thing, speaking of cost savers, with IF&W, we were printing at the front counter when someone got a registration, boat registration, ATV, fishing license. They were printing 2 copies. One that we were filing away and one that we were giving to the customer. That way if the customer lost theirs, they could come in and we could just find it and copy it. That's not required by IF&W, and there's a reprint button in the system. If you need to reprint it, it is no cost to the resident to just type in their name and reprint it. So what I have done and would like to continue to do with your approval is to not print that second page and file it. At the end of the month, it's a lot of time for me to file those things. 90% of the paper that we print, I never have to use for the residents. So that is a waste of our paper and our budget money, speaking of supplies. It does add up, especially when you have two of these full of paper we never use. And that's 2 drawers that I could use for space. It's time at the end of the month that I don't need to be doing that.
How long can you reprint? Is it? Yeah, I mean,
I have.
if you needed them.
I have years working there, so and they shouldn't need anything past a year.
That's what I am.
So yeah, I can reprint it for the entire year at the very least.
Okay.
So I would like to not have to. I just feel like that's time and money
Absolutely. Right.
we're wasting there. Speaking of time and money.
Wait for Paul to come back.
Okay. All right, so this I will do a write-up on. Oh, I'm so glad you guys approved that. It made me so happy.
Office supplies. Office supplies ordering.
Yeah, and I'll do a little write-up on the procedures, and I'll probably bring it in for you guys to sign. That's over.
motion and a second somewhere along the way when the call is back. There it is. We need a motion and a second. For
Do I-
Mandy Grenier to order office supplies until further notice.
It sounded like a
Sounds like you
motion.
made it. I'll second it.
Sounds like you need to.
All in favor, how you call it?
All in favor, yeah. 3-0.
Nice.
I will get in there and change password out so that.
Okay.
Switch
And
over.
is it? Do you do staples? It looks. Yeah.
Perfect.
Do they do free shipping on like $50?
You for sure.
All.
Making sure we have clear access in and out, Dan. Thank you very
I
much.
gotta get that for Jeanette anyway, because they hit us with tax last time, so she needs to get in there.
No. That's not okay. They should have. It should be set up in our account.
Yeah, I figured new fiscal year, they probably automatically for some businesses, just kind of like want your new certificate or
Oh,
something.
okay,
and just-
that's weird because we're a municipality.
Right, probably just don't have it coming up in the system.
Okay. So,
You got sunburned.
Right around the road.
I saw you riding today.
so there's a couple things here I have left to talk about. A fee schedule. Currently this is our fee schedule. This was a last minute thing, so I didn't make a bunch of copies, but I can if you want. This is old. 6/24/14. So this is all we have for a fee schedule. Copies, faxing, notary fees for residents are no charge, which is awesome. But I have these if you would like to. Another thing is, this is kind of all together as one. I would like to put on this November ballot some amendments to ordinances that have fees in the ordinance. It's really not best practice to have fees in an ordinance. It's best practice to have fees on a fee schedule.
Well, that's where my
That's
question
posted.
is if we even have the authority, because of these ordinances, to
You
change
need
those.
to, you would have to do an amendment, which would have to go to a vote before the town.
Yeah.
But it is best practice. I don't think, it's very few towns have fees in their ordinance.
Right.
Because when there's inflation or as years go, you're not gonna be able to keep up and your town is gonna start drowning and the taxpayers are gonna have to pick that up.
Right, Codes is having that problem now.
Right, so it's really best to have a fee schedule that is voted on annually, that is posted annually, and that each town department's fees are put in the same vote annually, and then that's posted annually. So this is an example of, I think I
Right
printed.
now, we handle all that, right, the selectmen.
Yes, and you still would.
Well, yes and no. You got ordinances that are tying your hands on changing any fees.
I'm
That's why I
so
don't
sorry
know.
about the
right.
toner in that, Paul. You see the little, I'm sorry.
I'd have to do some research to see if we had the authority to change.
Can you read that? It's pretty
She will
light.
not. I can read it.
Can't speak it, but you can read it,
I can
right?
read it. You can whistle it.
So this is just an example of an amendment I would like to do. This is an amendment for the special amusement. There's two amendments in this one. There's two changes in this one amendment. The first change is pulling the fee out for the fee schedule. The second change is every year for a renewal on a special amusement, we need to have a public hearing. That costs the town money. What I would propose is to allow the board to renew unless, which it states here, unless it is brought up that issuing of this permit would be detrimental to public health, safety, welfare, would violate ordinances, rules, regulations, articles, or bylaws. So if a citizen or if anybody, if the state police calls you, or if someone comes in and says, you know what, I'm having an issue, we will hold a public hearing. That's what this says. And you can send out, like I could send out, like we do on our website, our public notices go out to whoever has signed up. We can say, hey, at this date, Train's special amusement is going to expire. You know, if anyone would like to hold a public hearing, you know, get in touch with the town clerk within this amount of time and send that out. If no one says anything, if we post it and no one has an issue, we can just issue them a permit. If there is no issue and we hold a public hearing every year, we are costing the taxpayers money. So it really is in the best interest. If a resident comes forward, or if, like I said, if there's a state police issue, absolutely we will hold a public hearing and discuss whether or not they should be allowed to have this permit. Otherwise, it's really just a waste of everybody's money.
Can I just say
Absolutely.
something? I'm sorry, but I can kind of understand where you're going. Thank you. I can kind of understand where you're going with that one, because if there is no issue, why have a whole town meeting and all that stuff? I'm a little questionable about the fee schedules, because it just seems like all these ordinance changes that you're asking, you're taking the ability
It's
of the
really
voter
complicated. I
to
think
limit.
that really, we ought to be discussing this amongst ourselves.
It's not executive session.
No.
It's
No,
not
of course it's not
session,
executive
But
session.
do we need public input while we're actually discussing something? At this time?
No, that's fine.
Well, you can always
You're happy with it, fine,
deny
but-
me public input on it, you know, if you want to be the one
Public
to
input
deny
is
me.
fine, but it's just, you know, every time a question's come up here tonight, someone's been in on it behind the camera, so.
Oh, I can turn the camera
no,
on
that's
me.
fine.
I don't mind
what I
being
meant.
on there.
Basically, what you're trying to do is take the fee structure, you know, take those fees, which are some of them ancient in the ordinance.
And we're not keeping up
They
with
should
the
have never
cost.
been there. I understand that. I mean, if you check with MMA, that's what they're gonna tell you.
That's what they have.
Yeah,
So
okay.
everyone has a fee schedule, because we will drown if those fees,
The fees aren't sustaining the cost.
they are
of what's
not
happening.
sustaining the cost.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. So we go to Budget Committee. Budget Committee is thoroughly convinced that your code enforcement officer is bringing in enough fees to pay for himself, and he's not.
He isn't.
Not even close. So that's how far behind the times. I understand that.
Right.
Um,
So, and that money has to come from somewhere.
right.
So why not charge the people who are actually doing it instead of your entire town's taxpayers?
Right.
That was my question, so thank you for
You're welcome.
answering it. I don't know why he gets so nasty when other people walk in the door.
But that's what, it just makes the most sense. It shouldn't be everyone paying for,
I think that my opinion would be.
and it has to go to a vote
I'm
anyway.
only one.
For the
but I mean,
ballot.
my opinion would be that if these were going to be proposals like this, they need to definitely go before the town attorney.
Okay,
Because
yeah, absolutely.
I see issues on here myself that, you know, what you read doesn't automatically say that if there's a problem, it's going to go back for a public hearing type of it. That needs to be clear.
Okay.
And it's not right now.
We'll
So I mean, there's
have
things like that that we'd have to pound out.
It legally
Yeah.
worded correctly.
Yeah, so
by-
I mean, what I'm saying, I guess, would be if we are
Lawyer.
gonna go that way, make sure we have plenty of time to get them to the attorneys and back.
Right.
Because your deadline date for November ballot's gonna be what, September, something, 45 days ahead?
45 days, yeah, 45 days.
I don't know when the exact vote is for November, but I mean, what, May 11th, 9th, somewhere around
It's
there.
the 3rd.
Ouch.
Which is why
Really?
I haven't had time to sit and really do this, because I am at that counter. I'm
Yep.
chained to that counter.
Yep. Well, that'll be changed by the end of the month.
Which will give me time to sit at my desk and iron these things out,
Yep.
which really needs to be done.
And I think a lot of times the public just haven't been in here as I have, you know, knee-jerk reaction is, you know, I don't want the fees to go up,
Of course.
you know, but when they actually understand that these entities are not sustaining themselves,
Right. And if the
and
fees,
you're paying for it anyway,
you will pay it in the taxes, in the property
it's
tax.
just a lot of
You will.
education type stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So maybe just have the person who's actually doing it pay for it would be a good idea.
Yeah. This is just an example you said anyway.
This is just an example. And that's what these fee schedules were. Obviously, this South Portland is just really not
Right.
even comparable to what we would charge, but it's just, they have it laid out really well, so that's why I printed this. Because they have all of their fees in one schedule, which is
Yep.
beautiful.
Yep.
They're way too high for us, but it's a nice example of how it's done. It's also 10 pages, so I printed one copy.
That's fine.
just because
That's fine.
a paper thing.
Yep.
Moving on, speaking of ordinances, since I'm on a roll. There are a lot of ordinances that we don't have as a town, that we should have. We don't have anything other than what the state regulates for food services, which it's best for everyone involved if we have the town ordinances, because it's best for the food vendors. It helps regulate their competition. It helps the town know that what they're doing is safe, healthy, you know, and that someone at the municipal level, the state is, they have so much to watch.
Right.
That a lot of things are gonna slip right through. So it's nice to have that extra on the town side. A lot of this, so like we have 6, I'm guessing, I don't know, I drive by a lot of used car places on the way here. All their flammable liquids, all their toxic stuff that they're storing that the town's not regulating. We don't know what they're doing with that. I'm sure they're fine, but it would be nice if we could make sure that they're fine. So I have ordinances that now I haven't redone these. I just downloaded a whole bunch. These are just names. I put asterisks near the ones that I would like to formulate and get on a ballot for the people. The flammable liquids, like I said, for the used service places who are holding all of those toxics. The food service. Pawnbrokers, if we have any, I really haven't had a second to look through. We don't. But that's something that I would be concerned about. And then the used car lots. Those are things, for safety reasons, we should be regulating. So these don't apply to us.
We have a public hand up.
Could I ask you where the money's gonna come to pay for somebody to oversee all these ordinances that you're...
Got code for
Yeah,
it.
that's code.
So this would go all on to what he's already
Correct.
got on his plate? Does he know that?
I haven't spoke to codes yet.
Considering he just
can't.
took the job and, you know, he's catching up on a lot of stuff and
He is, yep.
you're just gonna hand him more stuff.
Yep. But I think it's best for the town to get a little more organized and a little more involved in the businesses that's in their town.
I do agree. Well, here
and
he
there
is
he is.
now. She just gave you a whole bunch more work.
I'm suggesting giving you more work.
Okay, I'm up for it.
Inadvertently.
Your interview for the 6 o'clock appointment is here, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I will discuss that with him,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think.
Yeah, but, so if it's okay, if I can formulate these and then put them before you and we'll discuss, and I'll probably have to bring it to legal like this amendment.
I'm sure there's other ones out there, you just cut and paste over.
And that's basically what these are. I have these saved from other towns, and I would just have to go in there and make sure it reads appropriately for us.
Yep.
And that, did we vote on whether or not I can sit with legal on this and amendments like these for a fee schedule? To put amendments on the ballot to pull the fees out of,
I have a feeling that they probably want to table that for now and discuss it more.
do you?
Definitely. Definitely. There's a lot to this that doesn't show.
But definitely come back at us if you haven't heard from us within a week or something on it. You know.
So next Thursday,
Sure.
I'm gonna go get on the,
Because you don't have a lot of time to waste, and that's why. I mean, I'd get right on it. Just make sure we're
Exactly.
on it. So
23rd?
23rd. Top of the list.
Yeah, can you put me in at like 4?
Sure.
Because I don't wanna do this to her on the counter again.